Democratic Representative Elijah Cummings wants President Donald Trump's former personal attorney Michael Cohen to testify before Congress in January about what he told special counsel Robert Mueller. Cummings will be chairman of the powerful Oversight and Government Reform Committee on Jan. 3. When Democrats officially take power in the House, meaning calling Cohen will be one of his first acts. I'm hoping that Mr. Cohen will come before the Congress, where he can tell the American public exactly what he has been saying to Mueller and others, without interfering with the Mueller investigation, Cummings said Sunday on CNN's State of the Union. I think the American people just voted for transparency and integrity in our hearings. They want to hear from him. I certainly would like to see him come in the month of January before the Congress, and so that the people's representatives will have an opportunity to ask him questions, he said. Cummings will have the power to subpoena Cohen to come sit before lawmakers. He said Cohen's testimony would be a watershed moment, comparing it to White House counsel John Dean's testimony amid the Watergate scandal in the 1970s. Remember John Dean, with regard to the Nixon tapes and the testimony that he provided, he changed the course of America, Cummings said. A lot of people said that he would not call him a liar and everything else. But the fact is that he came forward. And I think, surely, Mr. Cohen should come forward and let us know what he has on his mind, Cummings added. But I think the public needs to know exactly what happened, and I think that he can shed light on it. But there was one area Cummings sounded a note of caution: impeachment. He acknowledged the evidence is piling up, but said impeachment proceedings against the president would be premature and that Mueller should be allowed to complete the job. Our major thing right now is to let Mr. Mueller, who I have a tremendous amount of respect for, do his job. Let him complete his job. Then we take a look at what he says and go from there, he said. On Wednesday, Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in jail for multiple crimes including bank fraud, campaign finance violations and lying to Congress. Trump has tweeted fast and furious against his former personal attorney since that sentencing. And Cohen took his own shots at the president in an interview with Good Morning America on Friday, where he accused the president of lying about the Russia investigation. Share this article. Share 27 shares. Trump on Sunday attacked Cohen as a rat for turning on him and wrongly claimed the FBI broke into his former lawyer's office. Remember, Michael Cohen only became a rat after the FBI did something which was absolutely unthinkable and unheard of until the witch hunt was illegally started. They broke into an attorney's office. Why didn't they break into the DNC to get the server or Crooked's office? Trump tweeted. In April, FBI agents used a series of search warrants to conduct a legal raid on Cohen's office, apartment, and hotel room, where he had been staying. The evidence gathered in that raid has been used in special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation and in a separate probe conducted by the Southern District of New York in its prosecution of Cohen. It's not the first time the president has turned his fury on federal agents. He claimed the raid on Cohen was illegal shortly after it was conducted and has repeatedly said he was the victim of a witch hunt. Former FBI Director James Comey took to Twitter to slam back at the president and point out it was a lawful execution of a search warrant. This is from the president of our country, lying about the lawful execution of a search warrant issued by a federal judge. Shame on Republicans who don't speak up at this moment for the FBI, the rule of law, and the truth, he wrote. Trump also argued it was Cohen's job as his lawyer to know what was legal and what wasn't. The pressure appears to be on the White House as reports indicated Mueller is close to wrapping up his probe, which is examining whether the Trump campaign colluded with Russia to affect the 2016 election. In a separate investigation, the Southern District of New York looked into the payoffs to two women who claimed to have affairs with Trump, which he denied. Evidence in both matters was said to be found in the April raid on Cohen's office. In an interview with Good Morning America on Friday, Cohen expressed his wish to not be the villain of the saga and defended himself against the president, who has publicly attacked him numerous times since he pleaded guilty to a veritable smorgasbord of charges in August. The crime that is most perilous for Trump, who is said to be privately fretting over impeachment, is Cohen's campaign violation payments. Prosecutors say a figure identified as Individual 1, Trump, directed Cohen to make a $130,000 payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. Trump initially denied any payment, but on Thursday put forward the defense that it was his lawyer's job to know the law. "I never directed Michael Cohen to break the law," Trump wrote on Twitter Thursday. "He was a lawyer, and he is supposed to know the law. It is called advice of counsel, and a lawyer has great liability if a mistake is made." But Cohen told Stephanopoulos, "I don't think there is anybody that believes that. First of all, nothing at the Trump organization was ever done unless it was run through Mr. Trump. He directed me to make the payments, he directed me to become involved in these matters." Trump has reportedly told allies in his closest circle that he is alarmed by the possibility of impeachment, despite publicly stating that he isn't concerned. On Sunday, he also tweeted the words of people defending him. Judge Ken Starr, former Solicitor General and independent counsel, just stated that, after 2 years, there is no evidence or proof of collusion, and furthered that there is no evidence that there was a campaign financing violation involving the president. "Thank you, Judge." At Fox News, he wrote. On Thursday, the president was revealed to be the third man who attended a 2015 meeting with Cohen and American Media Incorporated boss David Pecker, where they forged a plan to keep Trump's alleged affairs out of the press. The meeting, which was referenced in a letter federal prosecutors sent to National Enquirer publisher American Media Incorporated, included an offer by the company's CEO to help deal with negative stories about the presidential candidate's relationships with women. With Trump identified as having been there, it means he was present when a plan was developed that ultimately led to Cohen pleading guilty to a felony and getting 3 years in jail. It also led to a cooperation agreement with prosecutors in which Pecker, one of Trump's former best friends, would not be prosecuted for any crimes related to campaign finance law resulting from the meeting. Almy gave $150,000 to Playboy model Karen McDougal, who says she had a 10-month affair with the president, and Cohen was involved in discussions relating to this. That could leave Trump as the odd man out if he continues his denials that he did anything wrong and never directed Cohen to break the law, and he is now the only person in the room who claims that the hush money wasn't used to impact the outcome of the election. Pecker agreed to flip and is still cooperating with federal authorities. In a statement, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District said it agreed not to prosecute Ami after the company admitted that it made the $150,000 payment in concert with a candidate's presidential campaign and in order to ensure that the woman did not publicize damaging allegations about the candidate before the 2016 presidential election. The news comes amid a spike in talk in Washington about the possibility that the president could be charged with directing a federal crime, even if